everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the most important part of SQL, which is nothing but constraint. So let's start. Open your online compiler. Just search in the address bar SQL compiler. Okay. So I'm going to select this one compiler. Make sure you will change the database to MySQL. Okay. So setup is ready. I'm going to erase this query. What is constraint? Why it is required? The meaning of this constraint? Everything we will understand. Wait for it. Okay. So let's create first table. Create table. Let's say the table name is again we will give bank table. Okay. So inside this bank table, let's say we have a bank ID, integer. Next, or we will create employee table, guys. Okay. Employee, not bank table, because it will help us to understand the concept. Employee ID, integer. Next, I have employee name, varchar of, let's say some 20. Okay. Next, employee email. Here also I will give varchar of some 30. Okay. That's all. What else? If you want, you can give the employee salary also, which is decimal. Okay. That's all. So I will give the semicolon. Table is ready now. We'll insert the values. Insert into employee values. On the next line, what is the employee ID? 101. What is the employee name? Let's say employee name is Akash. Okay. What is the employee email? I will give the employee email ak@gmail.com, or I'll give the domain name as oders.com. Okay. Now, what is the employee salary? 45,000. That's the first record. Second record. In second record, let's say I don't want to insert the employee ID. I will insert null. I don't want to insert employee ID. Next. For employee name, also I will not insert anything. For employee email, I will not insert anything, null. For employee salary, I will insert null. That's all. So now if I run this code, program did not output anything, it seems. Now I'm going to select everything from employee. Okay. So now you only check the data properly. What we did, we collected the data and we organized data very properly into tabular structure, correct? But whatever the data we have collected and organized, is that valid data? No. Because check the second row. What is this null, null, null? What is the use of this data? No use. Let's say I have inserted the data like this. 101 and the name of employee is Pooja. I will run this code. Single quote I must use, my bad. So I'll just go over here and I'll write Pooja. We'll run the code. This is the output. Again, I collected the data and I organized it in properly tabular structure. But whatever the data I have collected, is it valid data? You only check. First row, okay, it's fine. Email address I have, Akash ka name I have, employee ID I have, and salary also I have. But what about the second row? For second row, what is the employee ID of Pooja? It's 101. Huh? For Akash, 101. So is it possible in one organization, two employees are there and they have same employee ID? So that's not possible, guys. If two employees are there with the same ID, that's invalid data. We cannot identify the employee in a unique way if we give the same ID. ID means it must be unique. Just imagine 10 users are there and all have the same Aadhaar card number. Is it possible? If by mistake also 10 users will get same Aadhaar card number, a huge issue, the problem will arise. Okay. So that's why employee IDs must be unique, guys. Whether the employee works in the organization or he left, doesn't matter. That employee ID will remain as it is with that employee. So whoever wants to check the history of that employee, just by using that ID, we can check. But this ID only you have repeated 2 times for 2 employees. So this is the major issue. This is the invalid data. And your DBMS, your MySQL software, is not at all avoiding that data. We are telling to the DBMS insert 101 Akash email and this salary. DBMS insert again 101 and Pooja, and DBMS is inserting. MySQL DBMS does not have any problem with that. So I want my RDBMS should avoid this value. If you are inserting duplicate value into employee ID, your MySQL will give warning to you. Not allowed. 101 is already present into the column. This warning your MySQL should give you. This is what we want. So if you want your MySQL should give you the warning for this duplicate values, you have to make use of constraint. Constraints are nothing but the barriers. Constraints will tell to the user while inserting the values that don't insert this. This value is already present. Don't insert this. This is a null data, not allowed. Value must be present. Null means absence of data, guys. So constraint will avoid that invalid data. They will stop us from inserting this invalid data. As of now, nobody is stopping us to insert the value. If you want duplicate, insert. Null value, insert. Nobody is stopping us. Then who will stop us to insert this invalid data? Constraint will avoid this. So let's use the constraint. While creating table only, you have to use. So I am telling inside employee ID, integer type of value we have to insert, and it must be unique. It's not like constraint, you have to write it in uppercase, write it in lowercase also. Okay, not case sensitive. So I'm telling insert the values into employee ID. Okay. They must be integer. Okay. They must be unique. So in the entire column, it will make sure duplicate values are not present. So now you check 101 we already have inserted, correct? One more time if you try to insert 101, DBMS will check, okay, 101 is already present. One more is not allowed. So now if I run the code, see what I got? Duplicate entry 101 is not allowed for our employee ID column. So like that, we can very easily avoid the duplicate values into the column. So should I write unique for employee name also? No, guys. How come employee names will be unique? Two students will be there with the same name, Akash. Possible, right? So check to which column this constraint we have to use. What can be unique? For employee email, can we write unique? Yes, employee email must be unique, right? You and your office colleagues are giving same email address. Not allowed, right? Employee names must be unique. Employee salary, unique we cannot use because multiple employees, they can have the same salary. So check in which column you want unique values. For that column, you can use unique constraint. Okay. Okay. Understood. But again, there is one problem with unique constraint, guys. See, I have told only unique values are allowed. So only unique will be allowed. If you try to insert this 101, which is duplicate, so it's not allowed. But if you insert null, guys, see, null. And if I run the code, see, null value got inserted. This will happen because in MySQL, your one null value is not equal to another null value. See, if I write null is equal to null, the output will be null. If you write null is not equal to null, still your output will be null. You check output here, guys. If you tell null plus null, the output will remain null only. If you tell null plus 5, still the output will be null only. So whatever the operation you want to do with null, plus, minus, division, addition, greater than, less than, whatever the symbol you want you use, the result will always be null. So you cannot do any operation with the null. So that's why when you are telling in the unique column, in this employee ID, unique values are allowed. In this column, if you insert a null, it is allowed. Because null is not matching with any other value, right? So it will allow to insert. Not only to that, let's say I'm inserting one more record. Here I will insert employee ID is null. employee name is Priya, employee email is pr@coders.com, and employee salary is 55,000. Okay, like this. I will run the code. So what happened? Syntax error. Let me check. See, by mistake I have given dot. It must be comma. Okay. Okay. Now can you see the output? Null is being inserted into your table. Now if you are thinking, ma'am, one null is already present. No, so how come duplicates are allowed? Just now I have shown you guys, one null value is not equal to another. If you try to compare anything with null, result will always be null. It won't return true or false. So that's why here you are getting the output null. In unique column, unique values are allowed. 101, again it's not allowed. But null values are also allowed. Okay. So this is the rule of unique constraint. What is the rule? In unique constraint column, I'll just write, duplicate values are not allowed, but null values are allowed. Null values are allowed. Because one null value is not equal to another null value. So do remember this rule very carefully. In unique constraint column, duplicate values are not allowed, but null values are not allowed. Why they are allowed, guys? Because null is equal to null. What it returns? It returns always null. So this is equal to symbol. We don't have double equal to in MySQL. Okay. Null is equal to null. Always it returns null. Okay. So that's why null values are allowed in unique. But let's say you want unique values plus null values. It should not allowed. This you want. This null employee IDs are not allowed. So you can tell unique values I need plus not null values. Means null are not allowed. Not null is one constraint, guys. So in employee ID column, integer values are allowed. They must be unique. Duplicates are not allowed. And they must be not null values. Means null values are not allowed. So now if I run the code, see I got an error. Employee ID cannot be null. So null values are not allowed now. So if I try to insert 101, is it allowed, guys? 101 is already present. So if I run this code, see, now your DBMS is stopping you to insert this invalid data. So I will give one unique employee ID 102. If I run this, again error because here I am giving null employee ID. So we'll give the proper employee ID 103. So now your constraints, unique and not null, will make sure in employee ID column, all unique values must be present and there must not be any null value. Okay, I hope I am clear with this. So now in DBMS, whenever you wanted to give unique plus this not null constraint, instead of writing unique plus not null, directly just declare it as a primary key constraint. Okay. Instead of writing unique plus not null, both like this, just write primary key. See, like this, primary key, like this. Because primary key is a combination of unique plus not null. So now if I run the code, you will get the same output. In this also, if you try to enter the same value, 101, I will run the code. See, it is not allowed. Duplicate entry 101 is not allowed. So I will make it 102. If I try to insert null value, I'll run the code. See, employee ID cannot be null. So your primary key is a combination of unique plus not null. Clear, everyone? Either you can write unique plus not null separated by space, or directly we can write primary key. So if you are thinking, ma'am, why they have given this unique and not null separate? Instead of that, we will use primary key, no, always. But it depends on requirement, guys. For example, let's say you want to allow here unique values and null values. Both should be allowed. Unique and null, both should be allowed. Then you have to use unique only, right? Whenever you want to go with unique and not null, both if you want, then go with primary key. If you want only unique, go with unique. If you want only not null, go with not null. Okay. So now what about employee name? In employee name, should I use unique? Employee name must be unique. So in one organization, if one Akash is working, second Akash we should not hire. Is it like this? No. So unique we cannot use. Can I use primary key? No, primary key is a combination of unique plus not null, not allowed. So I want only not null constraint on this column. So if user is trying to enter null employee name, see here, null employee name, if user is trying to enter, it should not allow. Okay, so if I run this code now, see, employee name cannot be null. So I have told in employee name column, you enter the string values, maximum length must be 20 and null values not allowed. The value should be not a null only. Okay, so like that, only not null I will apply. What about email, employee email? Here also we will give as not null value. It should not be null. Okay. What about employee salary? It should not be null. I'll just write not null. That's all. Here for employee email, we can write unique and not null. Each employee email must be unique and it should not be null value. Now, if you are thinking, ma'am, again unique and not null both. No, we will write a primary key here. No, guys. One table should have only one primary key. So already you have used, again you cannot use. One table should have only one primary key. Now which column to declare primary key we will discuss in the upcoming sessions. So as of now, do remember this rule. Okay. Okay. So now in employee email, if you try to insert a duplicate value, see ak@coders, I will run. First, we will give the employee name here, which is null. I will give the employee name as Pooja. We'll run the code. So now you can see employee email cannot be null. So we will give the employee email also. I'm giving the employee email as pooja@coders.com. Okay. Salary should not be null. So I will give some 45,000 salary to Pooja. So we'll run the code. Duplicate entry AK. So we'll make it as PR. Okay. We'll run. That's all, guys. Now check whatever the data we have collected. Is it accurate? 101%. Each employee email is unique. Data is present. Each employee name is unique. Each employee name is present. Each employee ID is unique. And for all employees, salary is present. There is no absence of data. Means there is no null data. This is how the constraint works. So as of now, we have discussed about unique constraint, primary key constraint, not null constraint. Three types of constraint we have learned. So let's take one quick recap, guys. What is primary key constraint? It is a combination of unique plus not null. One table must have one primary key. So do remember, one table will have one primary key. Primary key. Okay. Next, we have discussed about not null constraint. What not null constraint does? Not null constraint. What it does? Yes. Null values are not allowed to insert. Okay. In the similar way, what unique constraint does? That we already have written over here. So these are the different types of constraint we have seen. Now, few more constraints are there. We will discuss about it. But before that, let's take one quick recap of our discussion. See here. This is our table. Look here, everyone. Let's say this table we have created by writing the query like this. Okay, I'll just move the video here. Okay. So create table employee ID is integer, employee name varchar, employee email varchar. Now, the way we have created the table, very easily we can understand. Nobody will stop us from inserting the duplicate values, null values, because constraints are not there. So if you want to insert the values like this, it is allowed. So what's wrong with this value? Let's see. See, what is the ID of Bhavesh? 101. Is it already present? Yes. So this is invalid data. What is the ID of Ankit? ID only not present, invalid. What is the name of this employee ID 104? 104 not present, invalid. Absence of data must not be there. Okay, invalid. So nobody is stopping us from entering the invalid data. So if you want, your DBMS should stop us while inserting this invalid data, then we will use constraint. So let's say for employee ID, I have used primary key constraint. Then what will happen? This row it won't allow because primary key is a combination of unique. So unique values must be present. If you insert duplicate, it will give you warning. Next, null values are also not allowed because primary key is a combination of unique plus not null. Okay, next. What about 104? Allowed. 105 allowed because they are unique and they are not null. So now for employee name, I will use not null. So as soon as you write not null for employee name, what about this row, Preeti? It's not allowed because employee name null is not allowed. Even though employee ID is unique, it doesn't matter, guys. What about employee name? It is null. All the rules it should fulfill, then and then only it is allowed. Okay. Now for employee email, I will write unique. Employee email must be unique. So which record is not allowed now? This record. Because Preeti is already present. So all these 4 records, your DBMS won't allow to insert into the table. So I hope I am clear with the difference between what is primary key, what is unique key, what is not null, and when to use which constraint. I hope I am clear with this. So in the next video, we will explore few more constraints. In the description, you will be getting the notes link in which what type of interview questions they might ask on these 3 constraints. You will be getting, just revise the notes and the interview question answers, and we'll meet in the next video, guys. Thank you everyone and have a good day to all.